Hey everybody, it's Doug. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our continued playthrough of Myth Dark Frontier, where we've hit the confusing stage of managing a siege. Now, MegaCon Games put out 3 actually really good games. I think 4 actually. No, there's 4. Emergency event. But the 3 that they put out, 2 of those, which are the ones that are most interesting to me because I like fantasy, are this one and Myth, right? The problem with Myth and this game is not the gameplay or the concept behind it. It's all great, and I love the way the mechanics work for the turns and that. The problem is the rules, and they had an atrocious time. I remember back when I bit the bullet and got brave and did Myth well before almost anybody had done a playthrough because everybody was so afraid the rules were so awful. I did it, and then of course the second edition rules came out. They put out the 2.0 rules, and some of the stuff I think I had to spend a little extra money to get the things I needed for it. But regardless of that, it fixed the game. It just took a long time, and that's unfortunate. Well, here we are again, okay? Because now we're in this siege phase, and there's some things in the rules that contradict each other in regards to how a siege rolls out. And I was reading some commentary. Kevin did one of the viewers gave me some great feedback that we're going to mostly have to ignore because I've already gotten past that. So I really can't do some of the things that he discussed, but we can do it going forward. And I still have a debate. It is very confusing on whether or not this guy should have gotten his life drain ability last turn when the event track hit a certain level. Well, because the scheme card came out, and that's what triggered the siege, but it says to do the card before the siege starts, which means he wouldn't have gotten that ability. So I still debate that. Anyway, there's some other things that we need to pay attention to. I'll show you one of them. When you can't do these anymore, these all come off the board. So all these objectives come off the board, and you have these under here. So when I do get one of these, I have to follow this. I may have missed one, I'm not sure, but I do need to follow these, and I got to remember that. It's yet another layer of things. This isn't a big deal. It just doesn't expressly state you do this. So, but you do. Okay, so it might say it here. I don't know. I'm not reading this because I'm reading the rule book. But you do have to do these when these issues come up. Okay. It says increase the devastation conquest track by 1. Each player must discard 1 supply. So we're going to have to do these things when we draw those. And I just want to raise that to your attention because it makes the siege that much more difficult. So with that being said, we're going to get on. And I'm going to do my best to manage this effectively and see what we can do. We still do everything else the same. Everything else is exactly the same as it before. Now, the interesting thing is we haven't had a lot of... I mean, the city's still pretty much intact. We have 1 tower that was knocked down during a fight. And that's really been it so far, but I don't think it's going to stay that way. We still got those captains out there. Anyway, we have our enemy cards here. We've already shuffled everything there, so we're going to go 1, 2, and 3 up there to put these the enemy cards out. And then we're going to start to pick our actions. Now, what I'm going to do with just about everybody is go on the offensive. Now, the question is, do I go on the offensive against some of the captains to get rid of them? And I think what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to battle for the first action with our apprentice. She's going to try and kill that captain. It's only got 1 hit left. She might be able to do it quickly and not have it have any effect. Then in the ruins, we got to look at our new quest. I didn't pull the new quest out. It's going to be in the dungeon, so she's not in a dungeon. It says hidden vault of Lagora. As you approach the ancient Idari vault, you hear scuttling from the tunnels and realize you are not alone. Well, we have to do a Tactics 7, but nobody's in a dungeon right now. Well, the rogue is. Maybe we'll do something with the rogue. Anyway, after that, I believe we have all our fortifications out. We don't need to do that. I think we'll have an encounter in the second part of the phase in the ruins there. Maybe get something good, and then we will travel at the end. And hopefully we have killed that captain that she's already in the space with right here. All right, then for our brigand, his is going to be easy. He's going to travel in the first action. He's in a dungeon. Do I want him to quest first? What do we get for questing? We gain 1 supply and keep this card. Discard this card. Ignore the effects that increase the conquest track. Okay, well, let's change that. We're going to change that up. We're going to quest. I just was reading. We're going to quest first. Then we're going to travel. maybe, because it depends on if Bones moves or not. But we're going to then travel, and then the theory is then we're going to battle the big bad guy. Okay. Then for our soldier is going to travel, and I'm hoping that we can do something to get him an extra move in there somewhere so he can get to the big baddie. But if we can't, we will encounter in the next round, and I'll save his battle. I'm going to take a risk and put his battle last and see if we can make that happen. So we've done our planning. Now let's move on to our actual actions. All right, so the first thing we do is we grab these, we shuffle them up a little bit, and we're going to see what we get. Okay, here we go. What do we get? Right. How many times have I done that? Oh well. All right, you know, it starts on the bottom, ends up on the top. Okay, despair. Well, so we know that we're going to raise the despair track. We're going to increase the despair conquest track by 1. And then spawn minions in addition. Perform a muster for each faith in the pool. There are 2 faith in the pool, so that's just awesome. So the despair track goes up by 1, but when do you do, hold on, I gotta check something. When do you do these objective actions? It says despair track, increase the despair track by 1, and each player must discard 1 hope or resolve a muster. I think we have to do that, guys. Oh, because we're in the siege, right? Doesn't say that. This is where it gets confusing. I'm gonna look at the rules again. So as I suspected, it says it right here. If there are no matching, then you do this. So we do the despair card. Okay, so we are going to satisfy this, but now we have to do these spawn minions and muster. Now there are no actual spawn points for the minions anymore, so they all become a muster. And we have to muster for each faith that we have in our pool. So we do know that we have 2 faith in our pool. And the way I read that says, in addition, perform. So I'm going to roll these 2 first, because otherwise I could take them, re-roll them, I think. And it feels like it's cheating a bit, but it says muster for each set. That's going to be a total of 5 musters. So I'm just going to roll them all. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we're going to spawn creatures. Now, I don't keep re-rolling for that. I'm just going to roll for it. We're going to spawn, let me see, none in the area here. We're going to, in the faith one, we're going to spawn 1. In the arcane one up here, we'll spawn 2. In the rage one, where's that? Rage, it's probably a layer. It's right here, and then up in the corner we'll spawn another one. So that's the way I see that the spawn would work out. We re-rolled all of these dice. That's what we got. Okay. But now we go to the siege section. It says spawn 1 minion in each quest location, then move each minion in each quest location 1 toward Fair Rock. Well, the quest locations are dungeons. So we're going to spawn some minions. Now, with that, I guess that doesn't say it takes the place of these spawns, so I guess it really just becomes like a massive attack. So let's talk about dungeons. In each quest location. So we're going to spawn 1 here. We're going to spawn 1 here. Well, that might be helpful that we have the guy there, and then 1 there. Just looking around the board, I believe that's it. Yes, okay. Then we move them 1 area toward Fair Rock. So actually it's going to move there. This one will move here, and this one will move here. Okay. Then resolve a battle for each hero in an area with at least 1 enemy. Okay, well that's one of our heroes at this point. That is our apprentice. So we're going to roll 1 die and resolve a battle with that minion. It doesn't say that the minion doesn't get killed if we win. So, because some of them say you resolve battle but you don't defeat the minion. Now, we are going to resolve battle 1 die. We need a 2 or better. We rolled a 2. So we actually did defeat the minion, but we took a point of damage as well. So the apprentice now has 3 points of damage. That's not good. But this minion was killed. Okay. And none of them got into Fair Rock, so that's not terrible. Alright, and that is, we don't have any darkness, so that is going to complete, as I understand it, complete that card. I think we're okay there. Great way to start the turn, right? That is awesome. Started with the worst card, a bad card that we could draw. We couldn't draw any of our own first. That's terrible, but here we are. Alright, so now I go to the apprentice, and she's going to battle the captain that's there. Now, we do have the ability to reroll if we need to. We do have the ability to get another spell, so we'll see. Alright, so basically we're going to just simply roll one die. Now his defense, however, because he is a captain, is a 4, so we need to roll a 4 better. And we rolled a 10, and so we did damage and did not take damage. That means we kill this captain. It is dead and gone. And so she can do a couple of things after that. We could have re-rolled. We don't need to. We can, yeah, we can. Let's see, we're gonna do that. We're gonna spend an arcane symbol, right? Spend one of our arcane symbols to draw a new spell. We'll get a Sphere of Deflection. That's pretty good. It can stop some damage. So, and I didn't even look to see what spells we could have used. And I'll roll the die, see what we get. Another Faith. I don't think I want Faith right now, but we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. All right, so I gotta double check the spells. We have 4 spells we could use. I gotta make sure I use them effectively. Like after hero rolls, after an assault. Before you resolve an action, reroll any number of fate dice. Okay, that's pretty good. Before you resolve an action, you may turn 2 fate dice into the fate pool of the results you want, but you have to take 2 damage. One structure would be removed, and after resolving a failed skill test. Okay, so we're good. All right. Then next up, we're going to have our quest for our brigand, who's in the dungeon here. So we're going to quest there, which means we're going to do this. Now, wasn't the best choice for questing, but we have options. We may well, we could have quested from anywhere for him, but we're going to do it this way. We're good. So we're going to do that. We need to roll a 7 or better. That's pretty rough. And if we win, we just gain a hope, but we complete the quest. So, and I can gain shadows, but I already have it, so I don't need that. I can lose shadows to change one of the fate dice in the fate pool to nature. Then you can treat your area as the quest area. I don't need to do that either. I just need to succeed. With an 8 and a 5, so we did manage to succeed. And so that means we gain 1 supply. Sorry, I don't know where I got the hope from. Oh, that's quest or gain 1 hope is from the action card. Sorry. Gain 1 supply and keep this card. Discard this card to ignore the effects that increase any corruption track. That seems useful. And we'll put a supply in our pool. And that will be the end of the brigand's turn. Okay. So we know last up we're going to have our hero, our soldier. Our soldier, we can discard 1 fury. There's nobody to do damage in the area. We can move 1 minion. We're not going to do that. We're going to travel. So we're going to move to the dungeon here. And then we can discard a fury to resolve a battle or gain 1 fury. We're going to spend this rage die here to gain another fury because that'll give all 3 of the brigands fury back to him. And then we have to re-roll this die. Well, good, another rage die, so that's good, and that will mark the last turn, last action for the morning phase. Okay, so we're cruising along. Let's see what happens next in the day actions. Trying hard to get to the bad guy. Trying hard. Okay, we're going to shuffle these up real quick. We're getting there, but man, these minions are now piling in. I'm thinking about leaving the apprentice behind to fight off minions as they come closer to Farron Rock. We'll see. Alright, first up we're going to get the travel action for our apprentice. So here's where I have to make that decision. No, I'm sorry, not our apprentice, right? Brigand. Our travel action for our brigand goes first. So I think, yes, we will travel to the location of Bones, right? So we're there now. Now it's less likely he'll move, right? So we can move 1 minion from any adjacent area to another adjacent area. We have 1 in our space. I'm not going to worry about that. We traveled. Okay, then we can lose shadows to deal 1 damage to an enemy in your area. We don't have any guile, so I don't know if I want to do that. I could do a damage to Bones now. We need to do 9. It might be worth it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to lose shadows. There's going to be opportunities to get it back, I hope. So I'll lose shadows. And we're going to stealthily do a point of damage to Bones. So we need 8 left to do damage to him. So let's see what happens next. We left our brigand a little bit vulnerable, but we'll see how this plays out. Okay, the next encounter is going to be our encounter with our apprentice in the ruins. We can spend a rage die to suffer 1 damage. Nah, they're not worth it. So we're just going to do an encounter in the dungeon, or in the ruins rather. Let me get the ruins encounter deck out here. Here it is. We'll put it right up here, and we'll draw the card and see what we get. Avatar of Winter. Ooh, an 8 guile. Okay, well, it's not terrible. She's got 2. Defeat 1 minion in your area and each adjacent area. Well, there's that's helpful. There's actually several in. Yeah, okay. Well, so let's try to do this. Now, we don't, it says the cold creeps upon you like a grave shroud. The hoary taste of winter taints your every breath. Okay. Well, we need to roll an 8. We don't have any way to mitigate that, do we? Do we? Let me look. We can exhaust a card. No, we don't undo that. I'm looking at the spells. When a hero would suffer, nope. Chaotic Overflow. After you resolve an action, choose an adjacent area to resolve a battle action, and that's useful. We're going to do that, I think. Hero's Edge. After a hero rolls a d10 for a skill test, the hero may reroll any number of d10. Okay, we got things we can do. Let's see if we can succeed, though. A 9, so we did actually succeed at this. We needed an 8. We got a 9 and a 5. Okay, so defeat one minion in an area adjacent to your area. And each adjacent. So she doesn't have any here, but she does have one minion in each adjacent area. She has this one, so we can defeat one there and defeat one here and take those 2 off the board. That wasn't bad. That wasn't a bad encounter, right? I guess. Maybe. Okay, well, that is going to end that part of it, but we're then going to spend one of her... We're going to play one of her spells. We're going to play this Chaotic Overflow. After you resolve a... you can do a battle action in this area. Oh, I thought it was any. Yeah, there's nothing to do with battle action therefore, so we're not going to do that. Sorry, take it back. Okay, and that will then. Let's see. We can also do this. You may turn 1 fate dice to darkness and return 2 spell cards to the discard back into the spell deck. We're going to have to do that because we don't have any more spells. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to have to turn 1 to darkness. So. Hopefully we can get rid of it before bad things happen, and then we have to re-roll this. But we get 2 spells, so that's all she has now. She has 2 spells in her spell deck. She's already got the other ones in her hands. So that is going to end her action. Hopefully we can get rid of this die quickly, because it's the first time I've ever willfully changed a die to darkness. Okay, what do we got next? Great, our encounter. Alright, so our soldier encounters in the dungeon. Let me get that deck out. And it says move into an adjacent area and gain 1 fury. We're going to do that by spending this. I won't gain the fury, but I'll get into here, and then we're in a place where we can fight. That's awesome. I can also then discard a fury to resolve a battle action or gain 1 fury. I think we're going to resolve a battle action, so I'm going to spend this. We're going to spend 1 of his fury. We're going to do a battle there against Bones. So now this isn't great. I mean, we only get to roll 1 die. We got to roll a 5 or better. On a 7 or less, we take damage, but or 7 or yeah. So we're going to do that. We're going to try and do a battle action. But before I do that, I still have to do the encounter. I don't know why I'm doing that. I did the encounter in the dungeon because that happens before I moved. So let's get the dungeon deck out and do that. See what we get. Soul Stalker, Guile 7. Well, that's I think the soldier's worst stat. No, it's 2. That's not too bad. 2 and gain this card as an asset, so it's an ally. Exhaust this card to reduce an objective skill test by 1 for each Arcana or Darkness in the pool. Okay, well let's do that. We're going to roll 2 dice and see if we get this guy. A 9, so we did. So the soldier now has Father. We got 2 people. We got Father Josh and the Soul Stalker. Father Josh exhausts this card to roll 1 additional d10 for each faith in the faith pool. Oh, I'm going to do that. Resolving a skill test or battle, then turn 1 fate die to darkness. That's why I'm not using him. Because I could get 2 dice to attack the bad guy with, but it would possibly create 2 dice, 2 darkness in the faith pool. And let's see what I get when I reroll. I'm going to have another one anyway, so I didn't do it. So we're going to attack. I get 1 die. I need to roll a 5 or better, a 2. So we miss. That was worthless. And now I have 2 darkness dice in the pool, and I know that the last card coming up is going to be bad. So, this is going to be a tough one, guys. But we got in there to start fighting this guy the best we can do. Alright, well we know this is going to be our corruption, so raise the corruption track if applicable, so it is. It says increase the corruption track by 1, and each player must discard 1 influence. Oh, we just have enough, or resolve a muster. Okay, so here's our influence. We do have enough to do that. Okay, now we know we've done hope and influence, so next time I want to gather supplies, and we have lots of them. So we are going to, though, raise the track by 1. And it's already bumping up against the top, so we have to do this. Each hero in Bones' area must discard one ally or suffer 2 damage, then resolve Bones' life drain ability. Oh, that's rough. Okay, well, actually, we can do this. We're going to do this. Ignore the effect that increases a darkness track. So, okay, the Brigand's going to play this card. This was a quest card. By the way, I didn't get our new quest out. Just it's in the dungeon again. Because we're not really having to worry about that right now, unless we will during the scheme. I'll look at it then. Anyway, we avoided that. So this is up here already, but we avoided it bumping, so it's not going to do that effect. We did, in fact, avoid the other part of this, which would be the muster part of the influence track. So we didn't have to do that. Now we do have to go on to the darkness, because I spent the influence to do it. Each hero in or adjacent to an area with a captain, none, we have none, must either place their hero in the closest outlands, discard one ally, or change 2 fate dice to darkness. We don't have any. So, these are going to get re-rolled. Okay, where were we? So we actually don't have to worry about these two. We're going to re-roll them, because we're going to trigger them both, re-roll them, and we got 2 nature, which is fine, but they didn't actually do anything, because we don't have anybody that's adjacent, either in a space or adjacent to a captain. Well, I lucked out. We killed that captain. It was with her, and the other 2 are way up north. Okay, so then, though, we got to do this. Siege. Move Bones 1 area toward Farron Rock, then resolve an assault in Farron Rock. If at least 1 stability is lost, this assault also discard 2 resources. Well, there won't be an assault on Farron Rock because there's nobody in it. But does that mean, will Bones move out of the space with the players? Do we have to chase him? I mean, that would suck. But I guess so. So he's... Oh, you know what? I didn't... Oh, I avoided that ability. So Bones will move here, I guess. I'm going to double check that, because usually if they're with players or... No, I guess he'll move there. He's going to try and besiege Farron Rock, right? So that is the siege effect. And there's no actual siege or actual assault in Farron Rock, because none of those guys have moved into Farron Rock yet. But get ready, because I think in the next turn they will. Or close to it. We got Bones here now. He's moved into there, and we got our night phase to go, and that's it. And our guys chased him down for nothing. I think now I'm screwed. I won't be able to fight him. Probably have to chase him back to Farron Rock now. Okay, let's just give these another. I want to shuffle them as much as possible. Let's see. We got okay. Our battle. See, we got our battle action from our rogue. We can use rage to deal 1 enemy. Nope. We can lose shadows to gain. So all we can do is we're just going to gain an influence, I guess, because we really can't do anything else. That was a total wasted action for our brigand. Well, no, I can resolve a battle action and at least kill this guy. We'll do that. So he's going to take him on. A 5, he does. He kills the minion that's in the outlands there. And then he could gain shadows, but we still don't have any guile in here. And that's going to be his action. That was not ideal. Okay, then we have our travel action for our apprentice. She can travel. She can move 1 minion from an area to an adjacent area and draw 1 spell card. So I think what we'll do with her... Well, do I even want to bother to have her travel 2 Bones? I don't know. Well, I can start the next round with a battle. This is going to be it. Well, he might move again, though. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to move her there. I mean, maybe she should move into Farron Rock and start to head toward those minions. Except the goal is to kill him. So we may have to lose some stability and resources in Farron Rock. We'll see. So we don't have that because we don't have any guile in our pool, and we can draw a spell card. So I'm going to do that so I can draw another spell card. We get Threads of Space. After you resolve an action, move 1 hero from any area to your area, and move 1 hero from your area. Okay, I know what we're doing. We're going to spend this immediately. We're going to spend that immediately. She's going to spend that card, so that goes into the discard pile. So she has 1 card in the discard pile, 1 card in the draw pile. And I'm going to move this soldier to there right now, because I think he's going to be able to battle this turn, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So she did her travel, she did all of that. We actually used the spell because we did an action. It says after an action, so I'm going to take it as that's okay. It says after you resolve an action. So we did that. Boosh. All right. That is going to end her. Now, we got 2 cards left. What do we get? The March. So it's likely that Bones is going to be moving on again. Okay. March, we're going to resolve an assault on Farron Rock for each area containing each area containing a structure, then move minions. Okay. So first thing that we do is we have 2 minions up there, so we're going to resolve those. Now remember, when minions do resolve an assault, they delay. So those 2 up there are going to roll. They did not destroy the fortification there, and they get delayed. Okay. Then we'll go here. We got a captain and 2 minions. We're going to roll 3 dice. Now it's the captain's roll, so we have to roll. If we roll 6, then so we did. Yeah. So it does destroy the fortification there, and the 2 minions become delayed. And I think that's the only other place with a fortification that has a minion. It is. Okay. There's nobody in Farron Rock right now, so we're okay. Okay. We don't have. Oh, I had to re-roll this first. So we might have a darkness. We don't. We have a rage. Okay. So we don't have any darkness to contend with, and then we have to do the siege. Remove 1 damage from Bones for each faith in the pool. Oh, we have 1 faith in the pool, and there was only 1 damage on Bones. I can see this is going to be incredibly difficult to accomplish. If Bones has 0 damage after this, which he does, resolve an assault in Farron Rock and a battle with any enemy hero in his area. So he is going to attack Farron Rock from a distance? Is that the way I take it? No. I think that part just gets ignored because he's not in Farron Rock yet. But he will resolve a fight with the heroes in his area. So, that means he could take more damage, though, because it doesn't say he doesn't take damage from it. Okay. Resolve an assault in Farron Rock and a battle with any hero in his area. So it says do that but wouldn't he only resolve the assault on Farron Rock if he's in Farron Rock? I mean, that seems right to me. He's got to make his way to Farron Rock first. Oh, and we didn't march all the minions. Well, so these ones will move here. I got to march them in. This one, so there is a minion in Farron Rock. So we will resolve the assault in Farron Rock. These 2 will go to here. These 2 are delayed. This one will move here. So we would have had a minion in Farron Rock when we got to this point. Just a minion, though. So let's roll that. Not a likelihood of something happening, but a 1. So we actually lose some stability in Farron Rock. Can't I do something about that? Let me think. Is there something I can do about that? This is really the way the word. I don't like the siege part of this very much, to be honest. When a structure would be removed from an enemy attack, you may suffer 1 damage. No, I didn't do that. After an assault, each enemy may be forced to reroll any number of d10s. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to force the assault roll on here. We got an 8, so now it doesn't do any damage. But we did spend our Hero's Edge spell, so that is now in the discard pile. Okay. That was okay, because it did stop the 1 siege. We're going to have to get back to Farron Rock, it looks like. It looks like that's the way it's going to go. So, that's going to resolve all of this. Alright, sorry I got a little out of order there, but we did catch up and get it done. Alright, got to make sure to read them, complete them in order. Okay, next up is our battle with our guy. No guile, so he can't do anything here. He can battle or gain 1 influence. And we're going to do that. We're just going to fight him. We don't have any ability to gain any extra bonuses. I'm looking at... No, we don't. Nope. Okay. A 9. We did a point of damage to... we replaced the 1 point of damage that was on Bones. Isn't that fantastic? So that's it. So then we can gain 1 fury for each enemy defeated. We didn't defeat an enemy. We can discard 1 fury to deal 1 damage to each enemy in your space. We're going to do that. That puts us down to 1 fury, but it'll do a 2nd point of damage to Bones. That is good. And now we have to resolve... Oh, we also have to... Did I screw that up? I did. He was supposed to resolve a battle with each of the people on his spot. So we're going to have to do one with her too. Let's see what happens. A 3. So he actually does damage to her, and we didn't do damage to him in that. So I got to put another point of damage. I'll put a 3 on her and take these on the apprentice. So apprentice now has 3 of her 6 points of damage. She is hurting, and that wasn't great. Okay, think we got all that right. And I did do that part. I discarded Fury doing extra damage, so that battle action is over. Holy moly, guys. Well, that's going to be the end of that. So we don't have any end of round effects. We do get together resources, and I'm going to gather... I have supplies. I have a little hope. I'm going to gather a couple hope. We have 4 fortifications out now. So, right? 1, 2, yeah. So we'll do 2 hope, just so we have enough to cover our bases there. Okay, and then we'll do 2 influence, because we don't have any. At this point, we might need it. Alright, well, that is going to be the end of that. And we're going to refresh all the cards, etc. Go through that process. I'm just refreshing all their cards. Guys, I don't like that. The siege portion of this is a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. Not just from the actual gameplay. I thought it'd be tough, because, you know, if you get to this point, you kind of you didn't complete the objectives. Now you're in a big battle. But I think that we're going to have a problem next turn. Oh, all these guys become... Do they become undelayed now? I think that they do. Let me look. I'll look in the rules and check that just to be sure. But I do believe they all become undelayed. And yeah, well, I'll double check that off camera. We don't have to worry about that. I'll fix it. And then the last thing we do is we take the 3 of these cards from the enemy: the March, the Corruption, the Despair. I'm going to shuffle those. And we're going to put the other 2 up on top, and that now makes our deck for next turn. I think we're probably down to 1 or 2 turns from this being completed. We'll see, guys. Yeah, I think I need to do these sieges a few more times before I really get them down. But anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all your subscriptions and all your participation. I really appreciate it. Please continue providing feedback for players. If I'm making mistakes, just let everybody know so they can see it. And I think I caught most of everything. I still worry about that, because there's a lot of little nuancy things, and the rules just don't direct you 1, 2, 3 to get there in a lot of cases, which is weird, because the way the cards are laid out and everything, you think it'd be so clean, but not. And as I've corresponded with people, there's so much confusion. And here's what I don't want to do, and I try not to do in the playthroughs. Is we go, we'll go to BGG and look at the discussions and the FAQs and everything. Most people that buy games don't do that. They pick up the rules and they expect to be able to play from the rules, right? So you might get some people that... You'd be surprised how many gamers out there get games and don't even know about BGG and never go there. You'd be surprised, I think. So there are those people out there, and a lot of people don't go looking at BGG to find out what's going to happen next. So I try really hard not to have to go look up FAQs and that, because I'm trying to play it the way, you know, if I bought this game and put it out of the box and played it, that this is the way it goes. Again, MegaCon Games, I have a feeling if they got acquired, maybe someone will put out some second edition rule books for this to clear it up. It's reasonably clear, but the siege portion is not, to me. It's not clear. It's confusing. And leading up to that siege portion is a little confusing. So, you know, any advice you have, guys, that would clear it up without... I mean, I don't want to run off to dive into FAQs and then have people contradict that. Well, that doesn't say the rules. No, it says it in the FAQ or on the forums. That's really not going to solve the problem. So, anyway, guys, I'll talk to you in the next episode. I hope you're enjoying the wrap-up of this. We're getting close to the end. I don't know if we're going to... I don't think we're going to win. We got 2 whopping points of damage on Bones. Our heroes are not severely wounded. Our apprentice has 3 damage, but the brigand and the soldier are okay. The brigand only has 1 and the soldier has 2. So we're okay. But I think that's going to get worse, because there's all kinds of minions heading into Farron Rock. So anyway, guys, if I got to undelay these guys, I'll do it. But I think I wait. I'll just check. All right, thanks, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Take care.